Just gotta keep it down a little bit. I'm on a sports show.
And we are officially live here from Further New York Sports.
Yo.
Blue and Boogie, what is going on?
What's going on, brother?
We have special guests here today, Mr. Eric Knicks in the house. Eric Knicks,
What up, fellas?
How you doing, sir?
What up,
so
man?
if you guys do not know who Eric Knicks is from New Jersey type of bowler, right? He bowls, he hosts tournaments, you might see him start trolling you a little bit on the fan page, bring up some interesting stats. So we figured we'd bring up Eric Knicks to the show today to kind of introduce himself a little bit. Eric, tell us what you're about, who your favorite teams are, all that good stuff, brother.
Well, first and foremost, thank you guys for having me on your show. I watch your show all the time. I think it's pretty dope. I'm praying that it grows and it stays around. Second of all, I have to correct you. I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I am.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I am from Brooklyn. I live in New Jersey now, and I do run bowling tournaments
dark
out
side.
Here. Yeah,
more space. I've known you always as the Eric Knicks from New Jersey.
So when I came back to bowling, after taking a long hiatus, I was living in New Jersey. So most people know me from New Jersey. But if you look on my Facebook page, it'll tell you I'm from.
I haven't stalked you yet. All right, I got to make sure I stalk.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Your background and stuff.
Yeah, tell us the background. Your favorite.
Yeah, again, I'm from Brooklyn. Now living in New Jersey. My profession is music. I've been a music executive for the better part of 20 years. I have a couple of other ventures outside. Invested in franchise business. Getting into. Now doing a partnership with WorldStar for a streaming service, which is I'm really excited about now. Helping to launch the first Black-owned supercar company with a gentleman by the name of Richard Patterson. There's just so many different things. During this whole COVID thing, a lot of the recording artists couldn't do shows. So I partnered with a company called GenieCast, and I'm now starting to do virtual shows so that artists can make money and still do it. So, wherever there's a nickel in I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get as much money as possible so I could be like Boogie. So I could be like Boogie. I need to be
retire at 35 years old. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta be Boogie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, very cool. What about your favorite sports teams, Nick? Eric, what's your favorite sports teams?
So, hold up. Yeah. I hope y'all can see. New England Patriots for football. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a New York Knicks fan. I'm a Rangers fan. I should say I root for the Rangers, but I don't follow. I gotta be totally honest with you. I don't follow hockey that much, so I'm not that educated in that area. But yeah, that's it. I don't really rock with the Jets or the Giants. I don't really. That farm club in Queens. What's the name? The Mets. I don't really rock with those guys, but there's a lot going on with those, so I'm happy for y'all. But
there is a lot going on with the New York Mets right now. And speaking of the New York Mets, let's talk about them. So, Boogie, why don't you start this off with us with the New York Mets? Mets signed Walker. What is this happening with the Mets starting rotation? Tell me your thoughts.
Well, I mean, if you remember in our last show, we was talking about we needed to solidify that starting five. You know what I'm saying? The 5-man rotation that we had is missing the end part of the rotation. So now when you sign Walker, that's automatically he's going to be at least our 4th starter. So with him being our 4th starter, now when I was big up in Peterson because he did so well last year, he's actually the favorite to probably be our 5th starter. So I'll take him to be our 5th starter. I mean, we got other like Lucchesi could be an option or Yamamoto could be an option, but I'm definitely rooting for Peterson because, like I said, he had a good showing last year in his rookie season, the shortened season where most players struggled. So I think this Walker trade solidifies our starting five, especially gives us enough time to get strong until Syndergaard gets back at the end of June, beginning of July. And imagine with Syndergaard in that lineup, and now you could actually have him as Walker be our fifth starter. Like, I mean, how better can that be?
No. Listen, I think it's a great signing for the Mets. My thing is that you also just got Joey Lucchesi. Okay, Joey Lucchesi did not have as good a stats last year as Peterson did. Peterson had a 3.4 ERA. Lucchesi barely played last year due to an injury, but the year before, Lucchesi had 160 strikeouts. He had a 4 ERA, but it's only his second year in the league. This is going to be Lucchesi's third year in the league, and this is going to be Peterson's second year in the league. So you still have two very young pitchers who I think are more than capable for that fourth or fifth position in the starting rotation. The only thing, though, is that as a Yankees fan, and I don't really follow the Mets too much, you would know better than me. The only reason why I would choose Lucchesi over Peterson is because I was following Lucchesi when he had a decent year 2 years ago. So I know what he's capable of. But the good thing is that Peterson and Lucchesi are both lefties. Right. But the only thing is that they're both going to be fighting, honestly, for that last position.
And that's beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Right. As long as you got guys fighting for a spot, that means that brings the best out of them.
So, right, and listen, and this also doesn't include Syndergaard, who's not going to be here right away.
Right.
So they're both going to be probably in the starting rotation to start. And then once Syndergaard comes back, then you might have to move somebody into a long relief. Or, Justin just said a six-man rotation.
I mean, some teams have tried that, but at this point, you don't really need that, especially with the Mets. You don't need that.
Yeah, no, and and honestly, I feel like a six-man rotation doesn't work because then you're also getting your starters not pitching as often.
I know LeBron will definitely be effective at that.
Right, exactly. Because now instead of the 30 starts a year that he's getting, he's now only going to get, if you did it the whole year, 25 to 24 starts. And you want LeBron pitching as soon as he's healthy right away. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I kind of like what the Rays do as far as they'll put in a reliever to start the first 1 or 2 innings. And then they'll have a starter come in.
I don't like that.
I kind of like that because it also eases the tempo when you should put in your starting pitcher. That's in my opinion.
I like this kid Lindor, man.
This
kid Lindor, man. It's the kid with the blue hair, right?
Yes, sir. The kid with the blue hair. Yes, Francisco Lindor, shortstop.
He's that blonde hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing, it's positive for you guys. The preseason power rankings have you guys at number 5. So
yes, sir.
It's good. I mean, the Dodgers obviously are going to be tough to deal with this year, but they got they still got the Yankees at number 3. So and then Mets at number 5. So it's going to be tough. But that kid Lindor is going to be exciting. What is his contract? What is his contract going to look like?
Well, that's the thing that he's supposed to sign an extension. Well, that's what they're hoping to sign an extension because this is the last year of his contract.
So
that's why I asked.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if I was the Mets, I would do everything possible to sign this kid because you can see with his personality through the Zoom meetings that he's almost like a Jose Reyes type of guy. Like he means business. He's definitely a defensive guy and he can hit. So with that combination, he's one of the top shortstops in the league. Yeah. I'm saying you gotta re-sign this kid, and you gave up, and you see, what you gave up. So you got to.
And the thing too, when I listen to his interview, I think he's going to be good for the locker room too. I think that he's going to encourage the other guys around him. He's going to be keep the peace, and so I think that's going to be
a lot of people don't give Lindor credit that Lindor. Listen, Lindor didn't have a great year last year, but he usually bats. And he said it. He usually bats around 290 to 310. The last 2 years he batted in between that, right? This guy almost won the MVP 2 years ago.
Right.
Okay. He is a very good ball player. And I think that I think Met fans are over analyzing the whole him not having a great year last year.
But he already that's the beauty of it. He was very transparent. They asked him about that, and what did he say? He said with this shortened season, he didn't get the opportunity to work out during season like he normally does, so he got tired at the end. I mean, I just told you the reason. I mean, he didn't say, "Hey, you know, it happens." Blah blah. He said, "Yeah, I didn't play good, and this is the reason why." So if you got a guy that's that transparent, I mean, imagine what's going to happen in the clubhouse where they really keep it a buck with each other. You understand what I'm saying? So
right,
and
and,
then
you need players who can
right.
players who can own up to their mistakes and not like make.
He's kind of the opposite of Strowman, because you notice when Strowman had his interview, you know, they was questioning him like, why did he opt out last year? Why, like did you quit on the team? We're not talking about last year. We're talking about the present. You know what I'm saying? Like he got that little brash, you know, personality, whatever. But I'm pretty sure he puts in the work as well, because from listening to him, he's also a type of guy that goes 100% on the field too. But now it's just a matter of when you're brash like that, and then you got a Lindor that's in the same clubhouse is him. Now, obviously, people are like, whenever like he goes into a slump, they're gonna say, okay, they'll give him the leeway. But when Strowman starts struggling, yo, get this guy out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's how New York fans are anyway. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing with Strowman too that bothers me, and what I can see being a little bit of a problem with the rotation. And Justin, I'll get to your question in a second. Strowman hasn't proved anything in New York yet, right? And he kind of talks like he's a really big deal. Yes, he got a $19 million contract for 1 year. I understand that. Like, you think you're hot shit now. But he quit last year. Cespedes quit last year.
And he still don't have a job.
He's still But Strowman hasn't done anything in New York yet to prove that to talk like how he's talking right now. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, oh, we're not talking about last year. Yeah, we're focusing on the future. Yeah, great stuff. But Strowman, you had a good year in Toronto. You gave up last year due to COVID when you weren't pitching the best on a Mets team that was failing last year.
Nico is spot on. Strowman got the Kyrie vibe.
I agree with that 100%. Nico, I agree with you 100%. He 1,000,000% has that Kyrie vibe where, you know what, if he's not feeling it, it seems like he just doesn't want to play. And I hate that about players. And you know, and like I'm not saying Strowman's bad. Oh, there goes we lost Eric. I'm not saying Strowman's bad, but I'm just saying that Strowman has to prove himself in New York first before he can start making stupid comments like that.
Right.
You know, that's all I'm getting at. And Justin, to answer your question, should we go after relevant free agents like Paxton and Turner? First off, I think Turner, if the Dodgers offer Turner $100,000, I think Turner returns to the Dodgers because he wants to win another. Hey, you're back. He wants to win another championship with the Dodgers. And as far as Paxton goes, I wouldn't even take a risk on Paxton as a Yankee fan because he gets hurt every fucking year. He literally gets hurt every season.
And also right it too. Again, he did turn a lot of people off with that interview. Like I said, and that's why I say it was the exact opposite of what Lindor did.
Well, Lindor did 100%. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad in my opinion. I don't know. Lindor. If I honestly think if the Mets have a decent year, I think he's going to resign, and I think he could be the franchise player for this New York Mets team as far as like offensive goes. You know,
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be great.
Especially when you're talking about being the clubhouse guy and being the fan favorite. Let's talk about Gardner coming back to the Yankees.
Yes, baby.
Please, okay, you guys are both Yankee fans, right?
Right.
I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan. So I want you to educate me. Give me the perspective on why Gardner. Now, mind you, the Yankees need pitching, right? Why is Gardner such a priority signing? Is it just because he's the longest tenured Yankee, or is he that much of a clubhouse guy? Because to me, I'm looking at the stats, right? The stats doesn't show like he's the godsend of helping you guys. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you need pitching. Why was he a priority signing?
All right, Eric, you want to take this one? Explain to me why you tell me.
I'm with Boogie. I'm not really such a crazy fan of the signing, but I mean, he's been a Yankee fan. He's synonymous with a Yankee fan. Like for example, I think that they should have gone above and beyond with the Patriots to sign Tom Brady for the same reason, and it came back to. So I'm not totally mad at them signing Gardner, but I don't see the overall benefit in terms of winning the World Series for them signing Gardner. I don't know how you feel, Lou, but that's how I feel. I mean, it's fine that they showed him the love, but I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, listen, I love the signing, and I'm going to tell you why I love the signing.
Okay.
Last year, they signed Brett Gardner to a 1-year, $10 million deal. Okay, I thought at that time that was too much money for Brett Gardner. We got him for 1 year, $4 million this time. Okay, so he took a pay cut. He didn't say like, "What the fuck? I've been on the Yankees for 12 years now, and you're only giving me $4 million." He said, "You know what? I want to be a Yankee. I want to help this team win. No problem."
Right.
Every time I think of Brett Gardner, you know what I think of? I think of the
but hold on, but can he help them win is the question though. I think that's what Boogie's getting at.
No, I think. Listen, I'm not saying. I don't think he can help them win on the field, but he can help them win off the field by helping mold these young outfielders and being a good influence for this team.
But what that being said, why was that such a priority? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have actual holes that you need to fill. Why? Because this is all I was hearing from Yankee fans.
Right.
Oh, we gotta hurry up and sign Gardner back. We gotta hurry up. I'm like, why? Like,
because
what does it matter if he gets tight now or later? Like,
but we only got him for $4 million. Is what I'm getting at. What is $4 million?
But that's what he's worth. But we got him for $4 million because that's what he's worth. He opted out of the $10 million option and then got a 2.5 buyout. But still, we got him at that was because that's what he's worth. Because he's actually not going to contribute on the field to them winning the Super Bowl, and the World Series, and that's why I'm not crazy about the signing.
Oh my God, Richard Steele Phillips, fucking good. Listen, every time I'm sorry to interrupt you. Every time I think of the Yankees, what happened?
That's a nice shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because they're chasing for 28. So
what about mine? What about mine? What about mine? What about mine?
That's why we're blocking it right now. So listen, every time I think of Brett Gardner. Every time I think of Brett Gardner, you know what I think of? I think of the at-bat that he had against the Cleveland Indians in the ALDS of Game 5, where he got 12 pitches. He fouled off 5 pitches, got a base hit to get them ahead in the lead, and they beat the Indians, being down 2-0 in that series. They beat them 3-2.
So that
Brett Gardner. No. What I'm getting at is that Brett Gardner, he might not be the best offense out there, but the guy knows how to take pitches. The guy knows how to take at-bats. The guy knows how to walk. And you know what? If I had to pick 3 Yankees to get me a clutch base hit right now on the team, Brett Gardner would be top 3.
With all that power and with all that talent in your team, Brett Gardner is the guy that you have for the at-bat.
3 guys in the lineup right
Brett
now.
Gardner.
The top 3 Yankee hitters right now that I would have if I needed a base hit to win the game: DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Brett Gardner.
Wow.
100%. And Yankee fans who watch as much as I do, not that you don't, Eric, can agree with me that Brett Gardner knows how to hit and knows how to take it.
No, it's no question that he's an intelligent player. Yes. But at this point, is he going to be that significant of a player that we couldn't use that money someplace else? That's the question.
But it's $4 million.
Yeah, but
$4 million.
And then hitting
at that line of where you don't want to spend. So that $4 million could go to somebody else that you need.
Right. And now with the new baseball that they're creating, like they're doing, the way they're creating this baseball, they're not going to be hitting it as far, and there's not going to be as many home runs this year. So that's another thing to think about too when it comes to Gardner. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Well, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Richard Steele Phillips because every time I say something, he does not agree with me, no matter what it is. I could say that the sky is blue, and this guy will disagree with me that the sky is red.
Right. Well, it's probably going to be red at the time that you say it's blue. I mean, Gardner is the 3rd most clutch batter on your team. That's what you just said. On live,
the Yankee fans that are watching right now.
And I'm a Met
fan. Do you agree with me, or do you not agree with me on that? You wouldn't want to put Brett Gardner out there with
the third
on your
third.
No,
third.
That's your 3rd best.
3rd. I'm telling you guys. Brett Gardner is a way better at bat than you guys think.
Okay, let's talk about the bigger issue on the Yankees, since clearly you're delusional with Gardner. Let's see where your heart lies with Herman. Let's give the little backstory here, right?
Yeah.
The guy had a domestic violence situation that happened at CC Sabathia's alcohol charity, correct?
Right.
Now, He served the suspension at the end of 2019. He lost the whole 2020. So now this is his time back, fresh back into baseball without touching the baseball. He had 18 games he won prior. So they know that he had talent, because they can't say he has talent because they haven't seen him pitch. But now the big picture is, now when you got teammates like Zach Britton talking about you can't choose your teammates and stuff like that. So there's a little dissension there. And from what I read, the dissension is because these guys saw with their own eyes the actual abuse that happened. And it didn't just happen at the charity. When he got home, it was so bad, another teammate and his wife had to arrive to the house to save the girl. So this was a serious situation. So now you're innocent. I'm going to ask you. Let me ask this question. This is the question I have for you, E. You set it off, and then Lou. With that being said, right, with that dissension, is that going to cause a rift with the teammates? And is it worth?
Well, clearly,
I know they need a pitcher. They need pitching. So is it worth it?
Yeah. So clearly, it's going to cause dissension, right? Because there's certain people who have integrity and approach life with integrity and understand that this is just a game. However, you have billionaires who can remove whatever as long as you're valuable to the team. So in other words, if you look at every player, if you look at the history of the players that have been in these situations, right? Every player that was still valuable and can help their team win, and it kind of got swept under the rug or pushed to the side, and the front office kind of like just dealt with it and still got them on the field. Right. Then you got certain players that are what was a running back from the Baltimore Ravens who kind of was Ray Rice, who was at the end of his career, and he had that issue, and he never returned ever again because he wasn't as valuable. So they put the value based on how they want to, do it. You'll see commissioners hiding tapes, paying TMZ to not air the tapes and doing certain things if they see that the player is valuable enough to do it. So, but then you've got certain players in the locker room who are saying, yo, you know what? I don't really care. Like you beat a female, so I can't respect you. I don't want to play. I don't want to play with you. And certain people are going to be vocal. So yes, it is going to be dissension. But again, they need pitching. He can help them win. So it's going to be it's going to be it's going to be a lot of shit in the locker room. I think that's going to cause a problem.
You're right about accountability, Justin. But he already stated that he's going to do face-to-faces with everybody in the team to apologize. So technically, he's trying to be accountable, and he served his term. But like E said, like that's a personal decision on whether you want to play with him.
He did. Well, what he did was he had a scheduled press conference for today, and then he canceled it because of what's the name said about picking his own teammates. So now instead of having the press conference, he's going to go address his team first and then have the conference. So he kind of canceled his press conference to deal with that. And I think that's smart, but I thought that he's supposed to do that from the beginning. Like, look, guys, this is the deal. Even own it. Like, look, I got a problem. She got on my nerves. I had a little bit too much to drink. Whatever the case may be, and promise that you're not going to do it again. And put that
put that behind you.
Yeah, put that behind you. You got to address that. But a guy who is capable of hitting a female, if she allows him to do it once, he's going to continue to do it, and that's a character flaw. Like I just think that's a character flaw that needs to be dealt with, and I think that it should be a bigger issue than drug abuse. Right. I think they take a harder stance on drug abuse than they do on domestic battery, and I think that should be dealt with in an inverse, in my opinion.
Yeah, listen, I agree with Eric on this. The only thing that I will say is that the Yankees have a very big image, right? Their image is, when most people think baseball, if I say to you, what's the best team in baseball, over since the World Series era, you're going to think New York Yankees, right? So the Yankees have this reputation to uphold. And I'm not saying that things would be different if he was on a lower profile team that hasn't won a World Series. All I'm saying is that the Yankees' image is very high up there, that they're not going to be taking this lightly, right? So if people in the clubhouse are feeling uncomfortable, if people don't want to play with him and they think that he's going to hurt business per se, the Yankees will get rid of him. I know that for a fact.
Business. Yeah.
Right.
You never heard business. You never heard business when you're winning.
Right.
Like you never like people aren't gonna not buy tickets and merchandising and hot dogs because when you're winning. Right. And that's what the front office is counting on. As much as they're gonna say, oh, we're gonna hold him accountable and we're gonna support our other teammates if they don't really want to play with him. Listen, if he can help them win, please believe me, every professional organization is going to figure out a way to have him on a team.
And that's why he's here now to find out if he's still that 18-game winner that was here before. So that's why he's here. Like people who question it why he's here or not, that's why. You know what I'm saying? It's strictly baseball. It has nothing to do with how the players feel. And like you said, when you're front office, all you care about is wins. So if you feel it's going to help you win, because they're predicted to win the East. So with that prediction, you need pitching. And if that guy, if he pitched like he did before, oh man, that's going to help because that's what you guys lacked.
Yeah, right. Their power ranking is number 3 right now in the preseason.
Holy shit! Richard Phillips agrees with me. Holy shit! Right? No. I know. Listen, honestly, as a diehard Yankee fan, I find it hard to believe that the Yankees are even predicted to win the East because I think the Blue Jays are some fucking team right now. I don't know. I think it's. Yeah, you know what? And Justin, I think Justin's right as far as I think the limited fans help him because you're not going to have people booing him as much if he does pitch. It's not going to seem as bad. But I wouldn't be surprised if they use him as a scapegoat if the Yankees start losing as well. You know what I mean?
First off, the fans have very short memory, right? Like they'll forget. They'll forget that, and especially if he does something amazing like win his first game or whatever. Like as soon as he starts winning, he's helping the team. The fans have a short memory. He may get booed when he goes to other cities and playing in opposing stadiums, but at home, the fans they're gonna have a short memory, and he'll get around. Unfortunately, because he's still valuable, he'll get around it. I think that it's more of a commissioner issue. And I think that the commissioner has to take a harder stance on these types of things. Because ball players just get away with too much. These guys are role models, no matter what they want to say. They make a tremendous amount of money. You have kids looking up to them, and you can't set the protocol that just because you're valuable, you can get away with this.
Right.
At some point, things can't be about money.
Yeah, you're right.
As much as I'm a businessman, some things just can't be about money.
I agree.
Let's, I guess, with the role model stuff, let's go into the legends of their actual occupation. Serena Williams and Tom Brady. First, Mahomes and Osaka. Hold on, let's get a look at Osaka up there with that little cute smile. She continues to be a thorn in Serena's butt. Okay, Serena, is great. She's the greatest in the sport, hands down. Brady, greatest quarterback in the sport, hands down.
Ever.
Now,
say ever. Wait, hold up. When you say Tom Brady, and you say Serena Williams, and you say greatest in the sport, don't forget to say ever.
I will allow you.
Ever. No, I need you to say it. Say ever.
Why do I have to say it?
Yeah, because it's a fact. Ever.
They're the greatest ever.
Let me ask you a question. Brady already won a Super Bowl against the supposed future in Mahomes, right? Mm-hmm. Serena can't seem to get past Osaka. Is Serena washed?
No. That's ridiculous.
Because that's what I'm hearing. She's washed.
She just made it to the semifinals of She made it to the semifinals of a major. How could you say someone is washed? If the definition of washed may be she lost in the first or second round. She beat Simona Halep, the number 3 player in the world, in straight sets with no problem. Broke her serve whenever she wanted to. How could you say she's washed?
I'm not saying she's washed. I'm just saying this is what they're saying, because when she faces younger players like Osaka who can serve just as hard as she can, it seems that she seems to have problems. Now, we're used to Serena being great. You know what I'm saying? So now, is she going to be okay with being almost great? You know what I'm saying? Like keep missing it so to speak, because she's kind of been off her game a little bit. I mean, obviously, age catches up with everyone. Not saying that she isn't great. She's great. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that out of the way. She's great.
Osaka lost
other
one match,
but Osaka is incredible right now. She's on a
Osaka, yeah. So I would give credit to Osaka.
Okay,
that she's great, but I can't say that Serena is washed because here's the thing: Osaka let's just put it in perspective. If Osaka has one bad match and she loses, Serena has a clear path to winning, right? And again, if you catch her on a different surface like grass and Wimbledon, I don't know that the outcome is the same. I think Serena wins that match, right? So it's just a difference, right? Or catch her on clay at the French Open, and I think Serena wins as well. So I don't know that
Osaka has I don't think she's won on clay.
Yeah, right. And Osaka is really strong on a hard court. So when you get her in New York at the U.S. Open, or you get her in Australia at the Australian Open, Osaka is going to be the favorite to win. Because she moves very well. She has a very strong serve. She has a very smart. She's really strong at her return. So I don't know. I just can't say that. To answer your question, Serena is not washed. No.
Yeah, no, listen, I don't think Serena is washed, but I also think it's a little hard to compare Serena Williams and Osaka with Brady and Mahomes, just for the simple fact that Brady is not physically playing against Mahomes and Mahomes not physically playing against Brady. It's more of a team-oriented thing compared to a one-on-one thing. And, Osaka's got age on Serena. Serena's not washed. If Serena was washed, like you
said, with Brady and Mahomes,
right.
Same type of age difference.
No. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that they're not playing physically one-on-one against each other. It's not like Lawrence Taylor against Tom Brady, and they're like, Tom Brady got sacked 5 times against Lawrence Taylor, and then Lawrence Taylor later on is trying to sack Tom Brady, and he avoids it and doesn't get you know what I mean? Like, it's not that, like, they're not physically on the same field at the same time, and I think
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something that's crazy to you guys, and I don't believe Serena Williams wanted to win her 24th Grand Slam in Australia.
Oh, you think she? Why do you say that? You think she wants to win?
I think she wants to win it. I think she wants to win it in either Wimbledon or in New York. I don't. But
is Serena good enough and
to throw away a tournament
or do you think at this point her age
she makes it
win everything?
When is the last time
keep losing to this girl? Why would you do it that way?
When is the last time Serena lost before the semis? So to say she's not that great it's a draw thing as well, right? So imagine
hasn't she been losing to Osaka though?
She's been losing to Osaka, yeah. And I just
somebody else too. Remember that other young girl? I don't even think she was ranked. Remember that? I forgot. I don't think I was right.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: if Serena runs into Osaka,
so funny.
or if she runs into Osaka, or she runs into what's the other young black girl? What's her name? The new one.
Oh yes, I forget her name. I know you're talking about. She's another young, she's like an 18-year-old.
Yeah. If Serena runs into those two, the lose percentage goes up because I really believe Serena is fighting for them to take over and hand the rings over to her.
No,
I know I sound crazy.
So.
I sound crazy.
Coco. That's right.
Coco. Yeah, I know I sound crazy.
Thanks, Bill.
I'm telling you. I know I sound crazy.
That sounds crazy because of what I told you off air. I told you it seems that every interview after a match that she loses, she never gives the credit to the person that defeated her. It's always a reason why she lost. But in this last, you gotta say it.
And it's so Osaka played well in Australia, but I gotta be honest with you, Serena played really bad. Like her unforced errors was through the roof.
But now
it was really bad
because of who she's facing.
No, it was routine. It was routine balls that she was hitting into the net and hitting too long that she should have put away. Like it was really. It was. I can't say.
No?
How do you have pressure? How do you have? That's like, okay, we're all bowlers here. That's like saying you're on your 150 of 300 game. Do you still have pressure at that point?
It's pressure. It's pressure.
You still have pressure in
if
the
you bowl with money on the line, it changes the game. You know what I'm saying? You got money on the line.
I don't
You
know.
got this young kid who surprised the crap out of you because she didn't expect to lose to her the first time, and now it's a continuous thing now. So now it's like, you know what? Now I got to make sure that I hit the perfect. You know what I'm saying? I get the perfect serve. I get the perfect whatever.
Eric, I think as a professional too, you do not throw away any chances you have at winning anything. The only player that I could honestly say that would throw away a tournament in his prime would be Tiger Woods. That would be the only person I could say that would be like, you know what? I don't want to win this tournament today. I'll win the next one. You know, like that, in my opinion, that's the only person that
I think that Tiger threw away a lot of tournaments. I think that and I think that Serena has too. I think that Serena has thrown away tournaments to her sister. I think that Serena has thrown away tournaments to Osaka, and I think that Serena will eventually get before she leaves the game. I think she'll get her last slam.
I hope Serena beats Osaka just before she retires.
I'm a huge Serena fan anyway.
Yeah, so, I want her to win at least one.
It's just the fact that I don't know if I can handle Serena turning into Venus, because you see Venus won't give it up. She's done.
But Serena. But so that's when you say. So now I could honestly say that Venus is washed, right? Because Venus is losing. Like Venus is washed. Venus is not even getting to the third round. Right, and sometimes, depending upon who she's playing somebody who can hit the ball well. She's not even getting past the second round. So Venus, yes, Venus is washed. Serena, blows through those girls with ease. Like again, Simona Halep is the number 4 seed player in the world, down from number 1. And Serena beat her in straights in Australia, just so to let you guys know it's not a problem. I'm still here. It's no way you can say that she can't win, right? It's just, Osaka is really good. Like she's really talented.
Williams is saying to other people, "Don't worry, I got this," and then Osaka plays Williams and goes, "Don't worry, I got this." That's just what it comes down to. It's just what it comes down to.
Right.
She's the best player in the world.
But do y'all want to talk about Brady at all? Y'all need y'all good?
No, listen. Brady.
Like I said, Brady. See, this was the perfect matchup. This was like we discussed this I think 2 episodes ago. But this is the perfect matchup. It was a guy that everybody's trying to crown as the new face of the NFL, right? Then you got Tom Brady, who's been the face of the NFL. So now it was perfect for them to face each other in the Super Bowl. So now, unfortunately, once the Super Bowl happened, the Chiefs decided not to show up this game at all. And everybody, I don't care what fan you are, we all expected this to be a monumental Super Bowl. Offense. And I kind of called it. I told Lou this was going to be the under. I kind of called the under, but I didn't expect the Chiefs not to show up at all. Now, we watched the game. I'm not, like I said, I didn't give excuses for Serena. I'm not giving excuses for Mahomes. Brady outplayed him. Brady clearly outplayed him. I don't care how old he is. He outplayed Mahomes. Mahomes did give his best effort in all the passes that the Chiefs dropped and had no time. The dude rushed 1,000 yards backwards. But at the end of the day, Tom Brady was the victor again. Now,
you want to know why?
Hold on. Not only was that impressive to me, it wasn't just the fact that he won. It's the fact that he left the Patriots, went to a team that nobody even expected to make the playoffs, and went to the Super Bowl in a completely different conference. Now, I don't know nobody who's done that. I'm talking about in football. I've never seen anything like that. They did build a super team with him, but you got to remember, they built a super team. When I say super team, a super team of leftovers, because you're not going to tell me that the players that they got were superstars in their position. AB was barely trying to get a job in the NFL, right? Became a superstar wide receiver. What's the running back from Jacksonville that was their starter? Fournette. He was on a scrap heap. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Gronkowski, who was retired. So he took guys who weren't supposed to be stars, and he told the coach. Coach, listen, your offense don't work. Run my offense.
Hold on. He took that. So Brady was supposed to be on the Patriots. Gronkowski was supposed to be on the Patriots, and so was AB, and so was AB.
What up,
right? So was AB, right? Along with Edelman. So if you think about it, if Brady would have stayed in New England and added Fournette to New England, that's the same team, minus the defense. The defense, although the defense for the Bucks was tough.
Yeah, JPP, who was a nobody,
but I tell everybody.
Dominic Sue. You had all these. I'm like, yo, where these guys been?
But here's the thing with Brady that people can't understand. Brady is not the best. Brady is not the best quarterback because he's the most accurate. Brady's not the best because he's the fastest and he can run. Brady's not the best because he's got the strongest arm. Brady is the best because he's always the most prepared and he's the smartest guy on the field every time. So you can't.
That's what doorbell.
No, it's a doorbell. Sorry. That's funny. So you can't disguise packages and fool him. You can't send different things and get him out of it. He gets out. He gets out. He gets the ball away very, very fast, and he's just highly intelligent. People in sports, period, discount IQ. I tell my daughter this all the time. I talk to so many different players all the time. Basketball IQ, football IQ, even bowling. Bowling IQ is huge. You know, you find that the better bowlers are the smarter bowlers, not the ones that can play the whole lane and can hook the ball. It's the bowlers that knows how to think their way out of a paper bag. Those are the bowlers that thrive on tougher shots, right? So when it comes to football, Brady is always the highest IQ player on the field, and that's what makes him the best at any given moment.
Sorry, okay. Bill, our show usually ends at 8, but we're going to go past that today. It's like a special episode. All right, Bill? So you can always catch the rest of us on our YouTube and everything. All right?
I'm on it. I'm on it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Listen, Tom Brady he's obviously, in my opinion, he's the GOAT, right? Like 7 championships. He joined a new team this year. He had no pregame. They were the 5th seed in the NFC. He won on the road every single game except the Super Bowl. It's really hard to not put him in that category as the GOAT. It's really not. It's so tough not to. But the only thing, Eric, I'm going to disagree with you on is that I think that the Tampa Bay's wide receivers 1-2 were way better than the Patriots 1-2. And that also helped Brady because now you had Godwin, you had Evans, you had Gronk. Mm-hmm. He was even getting freaking the other tight end involved. I forgot his freaking name, man. But
I'll tell you something. You forgot his name.
Right. That's right. But he was getting
how many times you guys did that on the Patriots when you went, yo, I forgot his name, or where did this guy come back, or where did it like Ben Jarvis Green Ellis got his name when he played in New England. Like you have so many players that make their name when they play with the Patriots. Right.
Cameron Brate. Thank you.
And then when they leave, they disappear. Like you gotta understand something. Brady makes these guys look good, man. I'm telling you, man.
No, and that's why he is the GOAT, and Serena is the GOAT for her sport too. And Tom Brady was just not willing to pass that baton to Patrick Mahomes yet. Do I think Patrick Mahomes is the future NFL face franchise? Yeah, 100%. You don't give a kid $50 million and expect him not to be the NFL franchise. You know what I mean?
But this is what I mean. So they designed a playbook. They designed a plan to stop Mahomes, and because of his IQ, because of his lack of high IQ, like the level of Tom Brady, he couldn't adjust at halftime to what they was trying to do to get them to score the ball.
And he had
the coaching, of course, but you can't, like I tell people all the time, on the field and off the field, as much as you can see it and you can tell people what to do, it's very difficult to actually, see it and understand it, right? And learn it at if you haven't ever seen it and you don't know how to adjust to it, it's difficult. So now you're stuck in this game where, okay, they're going to get the best of me because I don't know how to adjust to it. Now he will go home and learn and practice what they ran at him. But That's why you can't discount how smart Brady is. How many times have you saw the Patriots being down a lot? Take the Atlanta Falcons game when in the Super Bowl, they were down tremendously. And halftime, everybody give the credit to Bill Belichick. Oh, Bill Belichick is so smart. He switched it up. Now that you see Brady went to Tampa Bay and answered the question. It was more Brady than it was Belichick.
Brady got the experience, just like how you said Mahomes didn't have the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to say luck, but he earned his way to his first Super Bowl MVP. But now he got another look. Brady gave him another look on how to do this. So now he's seen that experience. Because I mean, look, Brady had to go through the experience of the Giants defense twice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then what that do? That helped him win more. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give credit to the Giants for doing to Brady what they did to Mahomes. I mean, look, if you're going to say that's what they did to Mahomes, you got to say that's what happened to Brady with the Giants because the Giants put the pressure on Brady, right?
Giants had
they faced him again.
Lucky
and what happened? He still didn't learn. He still didn't learn. And then what happened? What happened now? What did he do? He called JPP. He said, "Yo, can I join your team so I can get a ring?" That's what he did. He called JPP. He said, "Yo, JPP, how many times did you lose in the playoffs? None. JPP never lost in the playoffs. Yeah, I want him on my team. Oh, he was already there. I'll go there."
Right.
First off, Giants had two.
Fans say that.
First off, it was two lucky catches. That got them the Super Bowl.
Right. The defense didn't do anything.
The guy caught it with his helmet. The
defense didn't stop the New England Patriots who averaged 35 points a game and held them to 14 points and 17 points. But let's forget about that point too.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was good. Yeah, you guys, I can't say it. We've been trying to get a rematch ever since, but you guys can't seem to get back to the.
We can't have a rematch. We want a third do-over?
We've been going every year except for last year, hoping that you guys would make it back, but you haven't made it back.
We said let Brady live.
Look, JPP said, "Look, I won my second Super Bowl."
Yo, let me tell you something. You can talk trash about any team in the NFL, but I don't understand how you're going to talk all this trash about the Giants when defeat us.
I can't talk trash. Yo, you're right. I cannot talk trash about the Giants. I don't talk trash about the Giants. I promise you I don't. Whenever somebody brings up the Giants, I stay silent. But I hate when everybody brings up when people bring up Brady and the Patriots. They gotta talk about the two Super Bowls that we didn't win.
Yeah,
got to.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you for solidifying Eli Manning's career in the Hall of Fame. All right, next.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the team that has the city's heart, the New York Knicks. Now, it might not be the best team. It might not be the best team in the city, but you know what? This is the city. And now, talking about the New York Knicks, right? We go battling with the so-called point guard that's in Lou's background, Peyton. You know what I'm saying? We've been going back and forth with the young guys and roles. But how come we're neglecting talking about Julius Randle? Let's give Julius Randle his due, okay? Because the man has been playing like all-star all season. Now, I will be the first one to tell you that I was ragging him all last season. And you know what? It was justified because even he said he had a bad season. So what did he do? He did exactly what any player who wants to be great does. He went to the lab and he worked on his game. So and now at the beginning of the season, it didn't even seem real. It just seemed like, okay, maybe this is a little hot streak he got going, but this has been all season. He's been the most consistent player on the Knicks all season so far. Yes, I know it's only half the season. It's not even half the season, but it's a good majority of the season where we can see what kind of makeup the team has. Yo, we got to give credit where credit is due. Like this
night in and night out. Night in and night out. He's night in and night out. He's balling. Yep.
Why is it like outside of New York? Why is it that Randle is not getting his just due? Why is that?
Well, here's the thing with Randle. Randle was on a Lakers team, right, that had a lot of all-stars on it at the time. He was the 3 or 4 at the time, right? Then he gets moved to the Pelicans where he's under Anthony Davis and Boogie, and he is the number 3 and 4 guy again. Now he's in New York playing with guys around his age and a little younger than him, And now he realizes that he has to step up if he wants to make a difference on this team. And obviously, he likes it here in New York because he could easily just score his 20 points, 10 rebounds, and say, you know what, after next year, I'm out of here. He said he loves it in New York. He's showing that he puts in the work, and he listen, I would have loved for him to be a starter in the All-Star game, but it's hard to do that when you have.
Well, he doesn't deserve it right now.
Not a starter. Not a starter.
I would have loved to.
He deserves to make. He deserves to make the team.
He deserves to make it to the team 100 million%. And this guy is. I hope that they re-sign him after next year when his contract is up. Because
next year he has a player option. So
yeah.
I don't know if it's a player or a team option, but I know there's an option next year. So obviously the Knicks would love to have him for the rest of the contract that he has. But obviously I haven't even heard no extension talks or nothing like that. So maybe that that could contribute to his good, but that can contribute to his good play as he's in a contract year. So he's trying to get his stock back up. I mean, I think he did make a point. He did make a point, and I looked this up. He made a point. He said, I've progressively gotten better every single season outside of last year. He acknowledged it. So with him saying that, I looked it up and said, yo, you know what? The dude has improved. So this is not an aberration that he got better. This is something he's been trying to do his whole career. So the fact that we're seeing this, we should be like applauding this guy for the hard work that he put in.
I agree.
Because I'll tell you for a fact, I cringed every time he bring the ball up last year because all he would do, and every team knew it, he would bring the ball up, spin to the left, lose the basketball every single time. Like he triple teamed in the paint, pass the freaking basketball. Now what does he do? He got his eyes up. He's looking. He's looking all over the place. He's dotting people now. You know what I'm saying? And then when the team needs a basket in the paint, he takes in the paint and he perfected his midi.
Right.
He got better at the 3-point shot. So not only is he efficient scoring wise, he's efficient rebounding. He's efficient dishing the basketball. Like, wow. Like this guy became an all-around talent now. I'm not saying that he's the next LeBron. I'm just saying that for a person who he was to now, it's incredible.
He was always that good player, and he went above, and now he's, in my opinion, an all-star caliber player. If he continues, he's a 25-10-5 guy. You can't ask much more of that from a power forward.
Ownership will fuck it up. Guaranteed.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that too.
I'm glad you said that. The reason why I say I'm glad you said that, there's been a lot of rumors about the Knicks blowing up this young nucleus just because they're in a playoff push. What should they do? Like, I'm gonna throw some names out there that we've been hearing. Zach LaVine, right? Victor Oladipo, who's always hurt. Lonzo Ball, who can't shoot. CJ McCullough, who's always hurt. Bradley Beal, who only scores, doesn't play any defense. Then you got Drummond that's out there that they talk about signing. Then you got DeMarcus Cousins who wants to leave. So you got all these guys out there. Blake Griffin. You know, you got all these guys out there that they probably could help the Knicks, but is it worth? But is it?
No, they can't. No, they can't. Because at the end of it, because here's the only one that I like is I like Bradley Beal. Right. And I think that Bradley Beal could be a good addition. I don't know how many more years he has left, but I like Bradley Beal out of every name that you mentioned. Anybody else? None of them. Why? Because none of those guys, us as New York Knicks fans, we want a championship. We don't want to go to the playoffs. We would rather, I said this pre-show, I'd rather us lose and get a lottery pick than to go to the playoffs and not get a lottery pick, right? We only care about winning a championship, being able to be the best team in the East Coast to go to the championship. Blake Griffin, Oladipo, and Levine, none of those guys can deliver that. If you're not giving the Knicks a Kevin Durant type player, if you're not giving us a Joel Embiid or somebody like that, no, you got to leave the young kids intact.
But let me ask you a question with that.
And add to it.
Let me ask you a question with that, because I know you're pushing Bill, but the asking price for Bill is 3 first-rounders, what's his name, Barrett, and somebody. So what I'm trying to ask
it was Barrett and Robinson.
Trade 2.0.
Robinson.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Bill can't play defense.
Right. So the bad part of that deal is the 3 first-rounders, right?
That's huge.
Giving away Barrett and what's his name is not so bad.
If it was just that.
If it was just that, the 3 first rounders is not good because
you're tearing the team up.
that you're going to tear the team up, and you're not going to be able to make any trades with it. First off, you got to understand something. A lot of the players in the league don't want to play for the Knicks because of the ownership, because of Dolan.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to come to New York. So that Durant is not a New York Knick right now because of Dolan. He went to Brooklyn because, okay, I'll go to Brooklyn. I want to be in New York, right? But I don't want to be with Dolan. That's correct. So, and that's the sentiment across the league.
Right. But
right?
that coach is being changed this year, which I like.
Even the coaching change.
Culture.
They hired Steve Stout. They hired Steve Stout to kind of like change the culture within the Knicks organization and bring people in. Steve happens to be a really good friend of mine for years. No, I'm dead. He's been a friend of mine for years.
Somebody said
they called me Will.i.am. That's what I like.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nuts. So but even Stout can't convince players as powerful as even Stout can't convince people to come here. So
right.
Well,
like I said, hopefully, I'm gonna let you talk, Lou. Hopefully, I'm hoping the culture is changing the way the Nets culture changed, where they had a whole bunch of young talent that they groomed. They made the playoffs on their own. So then that made the place attractive, because not for nothing, the Nets really didn't have that kind of history. So, teams didn't really want to go there. But then when they seen the culture change, they say, you know what, that's an attractive place to play. So now that the Knicks are actually starting to cultivate their young players, and then they actually got a coach who's interested in playing defense. And now with the scrap, I don't want to say the scrap players, but the players that the Knicks have, they don't have the talent to be a playoff team. But Thibodeau has them playing above their talent level. So he's building a culture to win instead of being just losing. You know what I'm saying? He's giving us that grit, and I want to fight to win. So players look at that, because I've seen interviews where teams that they've played, they say, yo, this Knicks team they're scrappy. You know what I'm saying? So now that if that word gets around the league, I'm hoping that changes the outlook on the Knicks.
Right. Listen, you guys might think I'm a little crazy here, but
you are.
I know. But with the way that the Knicks organization is right now, and with all the young talent that they have, wouldn't it make more sense that to get up the picks for Beal rather than give up Barrett and let's say Mitchell Robinson instead? Because you already got a lot of young talent as it is, and now you're adding Bradley Beal and not getting rid of any young potential talent. Like, what you wouldn't do something like that?
Nah, because you got a kid out of Gonzaga that's coming into the league that everybody wants, and he's going to be a franchise player. You want to be in the lottery for that. Like, if I was the Knicks, I would do the same thing that the 76ers did with trust the process and tank the season and be in the lottery for like you were in the lottery for Zion, and you ended up getting RJ, which it's not the same, but you want to be in the lottery for Suggs. You want to be in there for them. So
right. See, Richard Steele Phillips agrees with me, bro.
The Knicks looking so bad with the lottery as it is. So
listen. But the only reason why I say get rid of the picks is because you have a lot of young talent as it is. So if you get a superstar with these young guys, you might have a good playoff contention team.
Well, if you want to talk about superstars, let's talk about the crosstown rivals who have 3 superstars.
Technically only one, because one doesn't play and the other one decides to play whenever the fuck he wants to play. But anyways, let's continue.
How good is this trio? I mean, let's think about it. Everybody's ragging their defense because they give up a lot of points a game, whatever like that. But let's take a deeper look at this. Since they got trounced by the Pistons, they have not lost a game. And when I say they haven't lost a game, they haven't lost a game with their best player. They went to the West Coast and swept them. They went to the West Coast and swept them. I think Durant played 1 game out there, and then after that, his hammy's hurting him. So what I'm trying to say,
and then he'll get a COVID test and not play again. But yeah,
I'm saying, so it's like you're looking at a situation where people were killing the Nets for getting James Harden. Right? James Harden I don't want to say dumbed this game down, but he changed the game where, you know what, he's going to be a facilitator. And he let Kyrie play off ball, and you got Durant doing his thing, right? So with no Durant, when you have no Durant, right, their best player, so to speak, and they're still going out there and proving that they can win, like, that's got to be a statement saying, yo, we're going to come out this East. I don't want to hear no excuses about the Lakers not having AD because they had LeBron. The Nets didn't have Kevin Durant. So they went to the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? They beat the Warriors. They beat the Suns. They went over there and they dominated. It was a close game with the Clippers game, but they won.
Hands down, they are the best. Hands down, they are the best team on paper, right? And right now, they may be the best team in the league. You can't deny it. I think they will come out of the East.
Yeah.
Here's what my concern is. My only concern is that yes, they do give up a lot of points because they lack defense. They traded away all their defense, right? And then on top of the fact that when you get into the playoffs and every other team is playing real defense and their style of play with the ISO basketball could really, really cost them some games and may cost them a series depending upon who they're playing. That's my only concern with the Nets is the lack of defense and their style of play. You know, Kevin Durant is just a walking bucket, so he's always going to be able to give you that bucket and you're going to score. But you know the defense and playoff basketball when people are really, really playing them and not letting. I shouldn't say let Kyrie, but making it a little bit more difficult for Kyrie to get a bucket and as we know, James Harden always disappears in the playoffs. So you're going to rely heavily on Kevin Durant to get you past these rounds. And, you know, it could come down to a game 7 and it could be a toss up. So it's not a guarantee that these guys were going to win, but
I just don't see nobody in the East taking them out. And to capitalize on what you're saying about the defense, let's not forget they're making small little moves defensively. They picked up Shumpert, who's still nursing a hamstring injury, who hasn't gotten in there yet. He's the perimeter defender because they had Dinwiddie, who was the perimeter defender. So they got Shumpert. He's not in there to score. He's in there to play defense. And then they they signed Roberson, who was on OKC, who was their defender because he can't play no offense. So he's there to play defense. So now you just signed 2 guys who are defensive specialists. So once they get into the mix and actually get in there, maybe they might be that I'm not saying they're going to become the Detroit Pistons of the 90s. I'm just saying that maybe that'll give them just enough to get them over the edge to where that's not that much of a detriment. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, listen, I agree with that. I mean, the only thing that I'm having a little trouble with is like regular season basketball is different than playoff basketball, right? So, and my only concern with the Brooklyn Nets is that if we see the Kyrie Irving from when he was with the Boston Celtics in the playoffs, if we see the James Harden who was only in 2 Western Conference championships with the Houston Rockets in the 8 years that he was there, if we see Kevin Durant not healthy playing because he literally plays every other game due to health issues or COVID issues, it could be a very disappointing series for the Brooklyn Nets when it comes playoff time. These guys have got to get healthy. They have got to start playing together to really mesh. Listen, Boogie said last week that they are 5-2 together when they played 7 games together out of the 30 games that they've been together, right? 7 games they played together between Kyrie's disappearing and Kevin Durant's sicknesses and everything like that. These guys have not played together on a consistent basis, and the last time they have was forever ago. You know what I mean?
I think at the first game, it was the first game in the West Coast trip. They played together, and
where
they won.
They killed Golden State, right? Yeah. So, but it was a long time ago. So my thing is that this team has got to start get the ball rolling on getting all 3 of these guys on the court at the same time. Because if they aren't, I can see this being a problem for them come playoff time.
I can see that being a problem as well, but again, you know, Kevin Durant is just such a phenomenal basketball player that when he gets on the court, if they're smart and they defer to Kevin Durant as the first option, like Golden State did when he played in Golden State, I think they'll be fine. They just have to step. They have, you know, if you watch the game last night and you watch James Harden play defense, you know that he's just terrible at defense. They just got to play a little bit better defense, and they'll win. You know, when they run into the Lakers, if the Lakers are healthy, it's going to be a really good season, right? If AD is back, LeBron won't win without AD. LeBron may not even make it there if you don't have AD. So, you know,
LeBron's in trouble if he doesn't have AD. Without a doubt, especially in that West Coast, forget about it.
You know, you don't understand. I argue with people all the time about Steph Curry when there's people on my feed saying Steph Curry can't do it alone. No player in the NBA, LeBron, including LeBron,
This is
can
going to
do
get
it.
Ian mad because you know he hates Curry. So
He loves Steph Curry.
hold on, I'm specifically talking to Ian Lane because now that LeBron has lost 2 in a row, the Nets and the Heat, he lost back to back. I want Ian to show up and have the same energy that you have towards Steph Curry when Steph Curry loses, because you can't say, oh, he tells us you can't use the excuse for Steph Curry that he doesn't have help. Okay, so don't use that same excuse for LeBron, because LeBron would win those games. LeBron and AD and would blow the Miami Heat out if they were healthy. So
hey, listen, LeBron James did take a very, very bad Cleveland Cavaliers team to an NBA championship 10 years ago. There was nobody on that team that he took them to, but they didn't win.
Yeah, they didn't win. Yeah, but you gotta understand something. It's the same thing that people would say about the Patriots. The AFC was terrible. The Eastern Conference division that year was terrible. Even though he took their team, he was like a man amongst boys playing. Like no one could stop him. So that's unfair. As soon as he got to the West Coast and he had that similar type of team with the Lakers, they didn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
So it's a whole different animal. You nowadays where everybody pairing up and the level of talent, you can't do that anymore. No one player is taking a team all the way. Look at Luka in Dallas. Like he's struggling.
Yeah, they're in 11th seed
because
right
KP,
now.
because KP, our New York Knicks great that people on the page, he can't stay healthy. So now Luka's all by himself.
Yep. And listen, if the playoffs ended today, the Brooklyn Nets would actually play the New York Knicks in the playoffs, which would be the best offense in the East against the best defense in the East, right? So it would be. I'm not saying the Knicks would win. I think Brooklyn would kill them. It would make it fun at least. Like
it would be a slaughter.
It would be a slaughter. Yeah, it would make it fun though. It'd make it fun to make it a New York. I think the Knicks would win one game. I could see them winning 4 out of being like 4-1 series kind of thing.
Definitely.
But anyways, what's our next topic, Book?
Well, let's talk about the All-Star. The All-Star voting arrived in with the fans. You know what I'm saying? There weren't too many surprises, but there was one discussion in the West. I feel really bad for Dame Lillard, man, because that guy like McCollum is hurt all the time. Like and this guy's been carrying the Trailblazers by himself, making game winners and just leading the charge time after time after time. He's proven he's actually in the MVP race. So you got a guy that's in an MVP race averaging 30 a game, and he's not voted as a starter.
It's the same.
How many years does he have to prove that every guy is the man?
Every year is going to be a problem because he's in a stacked Western Conference. Right, if you move him to the Eastern Conference, and he'll probably get the most votes. Right, he's just in the Western Conference, and who are you going to start him over? Luka? I know you said Luka, but people like Luka too much. Luka is putting up.
Worldwide, and that's the problem with this fan voting too. In my opinion, is that I think the fan votes take too much precedent on these votes.
But the All-Star game's for the fans.
I know that, but it is for the fans. But you also got to remember that if a player who is a mediocre player makes one All-Star appearance, then all of a sudden his stock and his salary skyrockets because he was an All-Star at one point. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's still too much on the fans. It should go based off of the NBA. The majority of the votes, anyway, should be based off of what the NBA commissions and whoever the NBA people are in charge should be taking care of that. In my honest opinion, like for instance, the starting 5 for the East are Kyrie Irving, who I know there's nobody really in the East, but Kyrie Irving disappeared for a bunch of games, right?
Yeah, but he played enough games to be an All-Star.
I'm just saying though, he disappeared, right? And you have Bradley Beal, who is
leading the league in scoring.
Right.
Leading the league in scoring.
Kevin Durant, too, who hasn't really been playing, right? But this is, again, it's a fan base thing. You have Giannis at power forward, and then you have Embiid at center, right? And then for the West,
Embiid, who is the leading MVP candidate.
I agreed, right? He just came off a 50-point game, no doubt about that there. Then for the West, you got Luka, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Jokic, and then Kawhi Leonard, right? So I would say that's pretty good starting five for both sides, but Dame Lillard, in my opinion, Dame time should have been up there. It's hard to say to get rid of Luka because Luka averages almost a triple double. It's so hard to take that away from the guy. You know, it's the kid's 22 years old. He has all the talent in the world. He's averaging triple doubles. It's so hard to. People love him. He's a good face for the NBA. I don't know. And in my opinion, yeah, Harden should probably will probably be in the NBA, but
I can't say Harden's gonna start over Bill, bro, because
it's hard to say that.
Scoring. You know what I'm saying? And then also too, you got to remember James Harden was on the West, and now he's new to the East, so you can't throw him in the starting role on the East. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Not over no Bill.
Right? Yeah, you can't. And on top of that too, Harden also played. I know it wasn't much, but he also played in the West, and then he got moved over to the East. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things.
All right, so who do you guys think should be the reserves? Since that voting is about to happen this week, so let me hear what you guys think about the East. Who should be the East reserves? E?
Well, definitely got to put in Randall. I gotta put in Randall. I just hope. What's the left-handed kid from Philly? I just hope he doesn't make it. I hate that guy. Man. Yeah, I think he's terrible because he can't shoot, and when you play defense on him, he just disappears. He disappears in the playoffs every time. So I hope he doesn't make it. Is Beal was part of the starters? Is Bradley Beal starting?
Bradley Beal is a starter. Yes,
he's a starter. Let's see. Let's scour the Celtics. Let's see who's on the Celtics that should make
Tatum.
it. Jason Tatum. Wait, Tatum is not starting?
No, because Tatum hasn't been playing.
He's been hurt.
See, okay, let me help you out there. I'm gonna tell you my reserves, and I'm gonna answer your question with that.
Okay.
My reserves is James Harden, Julius Randle, Tobias Harris, Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown, and Sabonis. Now, I say Jaylen Brown because I think he's averaging 30 a game himself, and he's been carrying the team since Tatum hasn't even been playing. So Jaylen Brown, who's known as a defender, we already know he plays defense, has changed and stepped his game offensively. So to actually keep the Celtics afloat, because the Celtics would be tanked right now if it wasn't for Jaylen Brown. So that's why I put him in there. Obviously, Zach LaVine. I'm sorry, that's the wrong conference. No, I'm right. Zach LaVine, he's the guy on Chicago, and he's improved his game because he used to be just a chucker. But now he's
almost averaging 30.
That's what I'm saying. He's now rebounding and passing the ball now and stuff like that. So he's actually doing a Randall move. See, but nobody's talking about him because his team sucks. You know what I'm saying? So he's in the position where the Knicks used to be last year, but now he improved his game. And
Zach LaVine also has a million and a half votes. He got a million and a half
exactly. Sabonis is under the radar. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely been a double beast. You know what I'm saying? On Pacers, who lost Oladipo, and then you saw they had the Karis LeVert situation, so they don't got nobody over there but Miles Turner and Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? And Sabonis been holding it down. So, like I said, Tobias Harris, that's the number one team in the East, the 76ers currently. And you got Embiid, who's an MVP candidate. You got Simmons, who's the 6'10" point guard who can't shoot, but Tobias Harris is holding it down for that team.
Wait, so I didn't hear Fred VanVleet at all. Like
you shouldn't. He's not even averaging 20. You should have seen him as an all-star. Nobody on Toronto is averaging 20 points a game.
Fred VanVleet got his money and went down.
I don't think
that whole Toronto Raptors.
No. He's not playing bad. It's just the fact
he's not playing what he did last year.
Because the offense, the way they set the offense up, they're setting it up for everybody to shoot.
I didn't hear Trae Young. Is he?
Why should you?
Trae Young. No, listen, Trae Young.
What?
He currently is.
Are you watching Atlanta basketball?
Trae Young is currently the. Let me see. There is 1, 2, 3. There is 5 people ahead of him as far as guards go. It's Bradley Beal, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Jaylen Brown as far as fan votes.
Yeah, that should be the way it goes.
Right.
Honestly. Because, like I said,
Trae Young started off really
Young's
hot.
A talent. He's a talent.
Started off really hot.
I remember the people that's above him, man. This dude is not consistent. Like he has all the talent in the world, but if he continues to want to be Steph Curry and shoot 35-foot shots on a fast,
but he can hit it. But he can hit it though.
But he's blanking them. When you're hitting them is one thing, but when you're not hitting them, that's another. And he's not hitting them this year.
I'll give you that. But he's been. What is his 3-point percentage?
I couldn't tell you on that. I couldn't tell Trae Young. I'll look it up for you. But
look it up.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, because I don't know the specifics of his percentage, but I've watched them games, man, and they need him because they've been having injuries left and right. They haven't had Rondo. They haven't had what's that forward? The forward that's a free agent this year on their team. The young dude. Collins. Yeah, like that dude's been hurt. So it's like all the guys that's their stars supposedly on their team have been hurt, and it's been all Trae Young. So he should be averaging 40.
His 3-point percentage this year is 378. So he's at 37%.
So they do have. So currently right now, they are thinking that Van Fleet will be a reserve. According to, hold up, I'm on.
What, you're looking it up right now?
NBA?
Yes.
Yeah, but we have Fred Van Fleet.
I think he's playing good.
He's 10th in votes as far as fans go. He's 10th.
So they have Ben Simmons, Trae Young, Zach LaVine, Fred VanVleet in the front court. They got Sabonis, Randle, Chris Middleton,
I hate Middleton.
they got Vujacic and they got Nikolai Vujacic and Bam Adebayo.
Right.
Bam is having a good season too, but like I said, their team is just
their
not
team's bad.
The only one that I don't like on here, and I was right. So I was right. Trae Young and Fred should be on here, but Ben Simmons, no, bro. I'm sorry. That guy is terrible, man. I don't even know why. Like, he's terrible. Like the 76ers should have traded him and got what's his name, some more help. And he would have been better off.
Listen, I wouldn't say Ben Simmons is terrible. He's not having a great year, but he had a pretty good last 2 years when he wasn't hurt.
How good of a season could he be when he got all those people that's playing great right now on his team?
That's true too.
You even got Steph Curry that's shooting amazing over there. You know what I'm saying? You got what's the dude from the Lakers? The one that missed that clutch shot. That's on the team now. That's from New York.
The 3-point shooter, right?
Yeah, he's even on the team. Yeah, and he's not playing that bad. So it's like, they got a lot of supporting cast there. So his I guess his thing is now take it to the basket and dish it out. So he's not obviously relying on to score or nothing like that. And like I said, we all know his deficiency that he can't shoot.
I think I can say this.
Danny Green.
Danny Green. But the thing you gotta understand about people like Ben Simmons, James Harden, these type of guys, they got big names because of what they do in the regular season. But I'm telling you, as soon as people start to play real defense, you got to judge. That's how come I don't even like the fact that the MVP doesn't include the playoffs, because once the playoffs arrive, that's when you can tell who's who, because now everybody is playing for real, not this soft defense where, you're going to let this guy have a wide open layup because, it's just the regular season. You don't really give a fuck about 2 points. But when every point matters when it should happen. And that's when you can judge these players. That's how come I'm not like so sold on the Nets, because I really think that Harden may disappear in the playoffs.
I guess we'll see. Now he got a new situation.
No, we're gonna listen. That's the same reason why last year I had a little trouble with Giannis winning the MVP, because they pad stats, right? Like the guy averaged 30-15 last year. Great defensive player. I'm not saying Giannis is a very good defensive player.
You just can't sniff at 30 and 15 though.
Right. Yeah, and that's the problem, is that you look at those stats and you go, holy shit, right? But in my opinion, LeBron James should have been the MVP last year. Because
he's always in the MVP.
Yeah,
right.
He's the best player in basketball. That's why. So,
LeBron James could be the MVP every year.
Every year.
You guys say he's always the most valuable player on his team than any other player.
Right, but Giannis got knocked out the second round last year, and that's
but the voting is not for playoffs. The voting is regular season.
But I agree with Eric that it should be included.
It should be included.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, when you can design a defense to stop Giannis, right? Because he can't shoot.
Yes.
You can't design a defense to stop LeBron. There's nothing you can do about that young man. Like that guy can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants on a basketball field. On a basketball court. Same thing with Steph Curry. Like you can't design a defense to stop Steph Curry.
Right.
Regardless of how Ian feels about him, you cannot stop Steph Curry.
Let me ask you guys a quick question.
You can do to stop him.
Speaking of All-Stars, let me ask you guys a quick question. Who do you think is a better pure shooter, Steph Curry or Kevin Durant?
There's no shooter to ever play in the league, ever, including Larry Bird. There's never, ever been a player that we've seen that can shoot better than Steph Curry. Ever.
And the reason why I agree with that is because he's the transcendent player. When I say transcendent player, he's the reason why Trae Young and all these people are shooting 40-footers, because the dude did it so consistently. He made it like that was a bad shot in NBA prior to Curry. That was a bad shot. Now Curry made it a shot that you see regularly. That's a transcendent talent.
But can't you also argue that Kevin Durant, as the 6'11" guy, is now putting the standards for the big guy shooting the long jumper?
Yeah, but we're not discrediting Durant, but we're talking about pure shooter. See, Kevin Durant is a guy who can shoot well and take it to the basket. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying Curry can't take it to the basket, but Curry is a pure shooter. Your question was, who's the pure shooter?
Curry gets to the basket just as easy as anybody else.
Right.
If you watch the games and you see him,
his handle is crazy.
He gets to the basket just as good as Kyrie or anybody else. I'm sorry.
And listen, you can go back to the videos before the NBA season started. I said that Steph Curry would be having a caliber and like an MVP-like season this year, and he's averaging 30. And he's averaging 30 points.
I said the same thing. I said if it wasn't for Durant going to Golden State every season, you would have to consider Steph Curry right next to LeBron for MVP because of what he's going to do and what he means to his team, especially if they're winning. You got it. That's how come that season he got unanimously all the votes, because without Steph Curry, you remove Steph Curry, that team doesn't make the playoffs.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the reserves for the West. For my list, I got Donovan Mitchell, Dame Lillard, Anthony Davis, Rudy Gobert, De'Aaron Fox, and Zion Williamson. That's on my reserve. West.
So they got Chris Paul. I'm gonna just tell you what the NBA has.
Yeah.
They have Chris Paul, Devin Booker, right? They got DeMar DeRozan, Mike Conley, De'Aaron Fox. In the front court, they got Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Christian Wood from the Rockets.
The Rockets, yeah.
Listen, yeah. I kind of like Boogie's reserve list. The only one that I think I would disagree with this year is Zion Williamson and I think Christian Wood deserves that. And I'm going to tell you why. Wood. No. Christian Wood has been playing great defensive basketball. No. He was single-handedly the reason why they went on that 6-game winning streak. And in my opinion, Christian Wood is playing better basketball than Zion Williamson right now.
Christian Wood has been injured for a good amount of time.
Okay, but let me just say this to you guys. At some point, you got to factor in the business part of this, right? And Zion Williamson not being in the All-Star game, and he's healthy, and he's played a whole. You got to understand, there's fans who need and want to see Zion just because of his explosiveness, because of everything.
I get that.
You can argue that there's a player or whatever that can replace him, but in terms of the exciting factor and him jumping over someone and creating highlight moments. Like, you have to put him in there. I'm sorry, Christian Wood.
I understand that, but
you can't.
Plus you gotta remember the All-Star game is also a popularity contest, and he's a name that just got on the map. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because he was lingering for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like he was on the Pistons. He was on before that, but now he's gotten an opportunity. He still hasn't earned that right yet to be.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I know it's his freshman year, but yo, man, LaMelo Ball is playing well, man.
He
playing
is
very well.
He's playing well.
It's
man.
just his
Like,
consistency, that's all. But he's playing really like Halliburton. Halliburton's playing just as good as he is.
I'm actually
I know-
surprised LaMelo Ball isn't in the top 10 in the East as far as votes go, because
Yeah.
I thought these young kids would be all over voting for LaMelo Ball. In my opinion.
Absolutely.
Like I said,
Absolutely.
from what I read, it's just that his consistency level, because a lot of times they sit him down on his own team because like he's very flashy. So a lot of times
that's
he's
yeah.
very flashy, but he has a lot of bad games too. You know what I'm saying? Any rookie does, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, he has bad games, but so does Steph Curry. You can't play the way they play, the style of play, and not make mistakes. So there's gonna come a considerable amount of turnovers playing the way they play, but they are dangerous at that what they do too, and you got to pay attention to that because you know that he can get the ball, or he can get anywhere he wants on the court at any given time. He can shoot, he can pass, he can jump. He's just a dangerous player. So you have to do that. But yes, he's going to make mistakes. I like him. I would have had him as a reserve as well. Just to make a statement.
Do you guys want to hear something funny? Do you guys know who the 10th power forward in votes is for the NBA West?
If you say Melo, I'm gonna turn this stream
It's
off.
Carmelo.
I'm gonna turn this.
It's Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony has 497,000 votes. He is the 10th front court in the Western Conference. Carmelo Anthony still up there somehow.
Why was that even brought up?
So let me ask you guys a question. You guys think that Brandon Ingram is playing better and being more impactful than Zion Williamson for the Pelicans this year?
Right now, yes.
I believe he's the number one guy.
I do. I listen. The guy's averaging 20 plus and almost 10 plus assists a game.
He's not. He's not averaging a double-double. Sorry. He's averaging 23, 5, 4. He's averaging 23, 5, and 4. 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
What's Zion?
Zion is 25, 6, and 3 with one steal.
That's why I had to Zion, because I feel like the numbers were close, but I think Zion is the guy that the team's game plan for. They don't really, I mean, not saying that they don't game plan for Ingram, but when you see Pelicans, first name that pops up is Zion Williamson.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I put him over.
But I just, you know what, maybe it's that I think that Ingram is doing a lot better with the Pelicans than I thought he was going.
He's improving like how Randle improved on that team.
Right, because when he was with the Lakers, I was actually pretty impressed with Ingram when he was with the Lakers.
I was surprised they traded him. I think
when he was playing with Julius,
he was
playing with Randle, he was playing with Ball, he was playing with a bunch of different all-star veterans on that team, and he's still performing. And then when he went to the Pelicans, I thought he wasn't going to be doing as well as he is. But him, Lonzo Ball, and Zion Williamson make a pretty good team together. They're not winning games.
I think they're trying to get rid of Lonzo.
No, they are. I would love for Lonzo Ball to come.
Yeah.
I would love for
Of course you do, because you like Payton, and they almost the same.
Oh, my God. Shut the fuck up.
You would like Lonzo to come to New York?
I wouldn't mind Lonzo to come to New York.
He likes
Lonzo.
He loves.
I would like for LaMelo to come to New York.
Yeah.
Lonzo, man.
I like Lonzo.
For some reason, I don't know why he likes non-shooting point guards.
I like because as a point guard, I'm old school point guard.
But this is new school. This is 2021.
Lonzo Ball's got great eyes for the court, man.
He does.
I love watching him
play.
But his ability is limited, man. And he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be the point guard to ever get you a championship. You need like LaMelo Ball. Mark my words. LaMelo Ball will be an NBA champion at one day, and he's gonna. And I believe that he will be an MVP. I believe. Not, I don't think that he's staying in Charlotte.
I don't think.
I think that his presence needs to be in a big market, right? So he's got to be in New York or LA. He's got to go to the Clippers or the Lakers or something like that. He's got to be in a bigger market. Number one. Number two, I think that his talent, and I wasn't a fan of his in high school, but now I'm a super fan of this kid, and I think that one day he will be. I think he'll be an all-star. I think he'll be an MVP of the league one day.
I could see that the way that he's been playing. Listen, youngest guy ever to have a triple double in NBA history. Very good eyes on the court. I wouldn't say his eyes are as good as Lonzo just yet, but that also comes with experience, right?
It's going to determine. I tell you what's going to determine it, and I think the sky's the limit for this kid. I think that's going to all determine how much he works on his game. If he takes the Kobe, if he takes it serious during the offseason, try to improve certain weapons in his game, be more consistent from the perimeter. I think that. I think the sky's the limit for him, man.
Because he's tall,
good.
So he has an advantage.
He's good too. He's a very good good player. But in Charlotte, I mean, listen, him and Gordon Hayward aren't doing shit together. That's just him and Bagman, whatever the hell the other guy's name is.
Yeah. You see the makeup of what they're trying to do with the All-Star. They're trying to have before the game, they're trying to do the skills competition, and then at halftime they trying to do the dunk contest.
Right.
And, at halftime like that. Speaking of dunk contest, did you guys see Anthony Edwards dunk?
Can we show that real quick? Blood?
Yeah, for the people who didn't see this is definitely the dunk of the year.
All right, and if you don't know who Anthony
top three for me, it's top three
of all
for
time.
Me.
Right. If you don't know who Anthony Edwards is, he was the #1 pick this year. Got drafted by Minnesota. He just put it this way: there used to be only one Asian American in the NBA. Now there's 0 because this guy was forced to retire.
He caught a body. He caught a body.
The game is so fast. Timberwolves will take off a little bit of time here.
Look, he had the shot here. But he said, "Nah."
He got a shot right there. Goes down.
Kill this guy. Oh!
Now, hold up. Let me just point out something. When he banged the shot in the rim, yo, dude, you seen the life leave his body. You seen his life leave the body.
Let's look at it in slow motion.
Watch this. Watch. He just it's like somebody shot him.
He's not even like when you see him, his teammates are surrounding him, trying to revive him because he's dead. He's dead.
No. And then on top of that,
they walked away like they didn't want to have anything to do with it.
He gives him the Hulk Hogan leg drop on top of it. He dunked on him, and then
his teammates walked away from him like, nah, he's not with us. Like, that was really, really bad. That was. But I'm gonna tell you. For me,
what's up, Jeff? We got going.
For me, I'm gonna tell you that was top 3 for me. That was the top 3. That was the top 3 poster ever.
Yeah, Boogie and I were talking about what other dunks out there are. Boogie, do you want to play those other dunks? Might as well. Right?
Okay, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Like we all have favorite dunks. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So Boogie has his favorite dunk. I have my favorite dunk. And
I know E has his favorite dunk. So
I have my favorite dunk as well.
Now it's a little unfair for me because this dunk is Blake Griffin, right? Now Blake Griffin did this to Paul Gasol 2 times in one game, and I'm gonna play both of them because it was in the same game.
It was like it was vertical. Yeah, it was crazy,
fellas. Yeah. This is crazy.
Boy, left wide.
Let's look at this. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Incredible.
Yo, he's looking at his teammates. Yo, why didn't y'all warn me? I'm just trying to box out.
And on top of that, he goes over this ball.
Oh, look at that.
Poor Powell. Oh, kapow. Butler now.
Now look, this is in the same game.
Blake Griffin explodes on Gasol.
Here you go, ref. What's going on? He's picking on me. What the heck's going on here? Get Paul Gasol, go to the refs. Guys, this is abuse. Kobe's like, yo, I ain't with him. I don't know this guy. Ref.
He goes, he fouled me.
Tonight.
What the hell? He fouled me. You don't see that? Oh yeah. Paul Gasol.
No, those were great. Those were good. But as crazy. I'm sorry. As crazy as those were, those are not.
That's true. Jeff. We played that earlier.
That's not the top 3. Get. It's on you, man.
So my favorite dunk.
I don't like Lou for this.
All right, so unfortunately, it's against the Knicks. All right,
I don't like Lou for this.
This, in my opinion, was like the poster dunk, right? Like back in the '90s. Like when you think of dunk, you think of this, right? So it's Scottie Pippen against Patrick Ewing, right? So I hate to say it, but you have to watch the reaction after this, right? Like
That's the only thing about this dunk that's so special is that he like stepped over.
no, watch this dunk. Watch this dunk.
Oh, you had tried to block.
Oh, he pushes
That-
him down.
That
He
was, no.
No,
That was cool.
And then
was
he's
cool.
talking trash. Then he's talking trash to Spike Lee.
watch the replay though. Watch in slow motion.
But you know, John,
Patrick Ewing got knocked over by someone
You
5
was
inches
embarrassed,
shorter and 50 pounds lighter. And
Scottie
Pippen
Pippen is not 5 inches shorter than him. Stop.
No,
You're exaggerating.
Almost. Look.
Spectacular dunk last year.
Ooh, right over him, pushed
They
him
tried to
over.
push him.
And he
Right, it says,
held
get out
it
my
No,
over
face.
no.
Patrick
The
Get out
crazy
my
thing
face,
was
bro.
the crazy part of that dunk was the fact that he slowly walked over him. That was disrespectful. That was like Allen Iverson stepping over homeboy over homeboy. That was nasty. But
True,
but
It's a good dunk, though. It's still a good dunk.
but my favorite dunk, and I have two because you guys didn't show the two best dunks ever. But my favorite dunk is not this guy didn't get dunked on, he got dunked over. When Vince Carter dunked over the kid in the
USA, that's right.
and like this is oh my god.
The thing about this dunk is this guy was a Knicks draft pick, and this caused the guy to say, "I'm not playing in an NBA. No, sir. Thank you very much. You wasted a pick on me."
Renato gets with a sloppy pass. Carter inside.
With the afro.
Come on. Woo.
And the crowd.
And this is
Over
prior
him.
to Vince Carter going ball.
This is in a game.
Now you see why Frederick Weiss is
This
gonna
was
be playing
prior
Greece.
to
You don't
Vince
wanna see
Carter
that on
going
a
ball.
nightly basis. My
We gotta watch that again. I'm sorry.
That last throw, Peyton setting it up. Weiss comes out to bump him a bit, slow him down, which he did, but Peyton still goes right at it.
This was
Fires.
in play too. Like
Monato gets
Still.
sloppy
Yeah, nice
pass.
pass.
and this
Oh, the guy said, "Watch your head." No, he jumped
That ain't
over
right.
him. That
Oy
was crazy.
vey.
But there's one more dunk you have to show. You can't have this kind of conversation
okay.
without showing Dr. J over
Okay.
Michael Cooper. You can't have this conversation without showing Dr. J over Michael Cooper.
That's
Like,
like the foundation, like dunk, right? Like that's like holy crap. Yeah, I know. Listen, Billy, you think I wanted to go against the Knicks on that one, man? I didn't want to, but that was like when I first started watching NBA basketball, and you just see Scottie Pippen knock over my legend Patrick Ewing, and then on top of that he walks over him, and then on top of that he's talking crap. Like, that's just how it is. But we'll watch this one, the original poster dunk, right? Julius Erving on Michael Cooper.
This is just. Look how he cuffed it. Oh, come on, man.
And look how crazy the fans go too.
This
Look.
is disgusting. He got they interviewed Michael Cooper. He said, "Man, once I jump," I said, "Oh man, I gotta get out the way." Too late.
Boo.
Yeah.
Dr. J.
Cooper almost hit his head on the backboard, jumping out the way.
Right.
And as a Knicks fan too, I enjoy John Starks over on the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
too.
now that's my personal favorite, but that's not one of the dunks of all time. But that's one of my personal favorite. But,
Word up. Yeah.
But yo, dunks. As far as who was the best, who would you say consistently was the best body catcher, so to speak? Like, because like you gotta have a guy like Shaq. You remember he dunked over Chris Dudley.
Chris Dudley.
You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq got a lot of helmets.
Michael Jordan,
Kobe,
Tracy McGrady.
Yes.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin.
Carter.
I would
No. Stop. Nobody has more bodies than Dominique Wilkins.
That's true too. Dominique Wilkins has a lot too.
Dominique Wilkins and what's homeboy that played for the Supersonics?
Oh,
Sean Kemp.
Yo, that one where he did the point. That's
a good one too.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I will say though, I want to say that Blake Griffin is probably the hardest dunker as far as like embarrassing people wise. Blake Griffin's got to be up there as like top 2, right? Like, because like he literally embarrasses people with his dunks.
Yeah,
In his prime.
yeah. But most of his dunks, he caught people by surprise, except for the one on Pau Gasol, the second one on Pau Gasol. But Dominique Wilkins literally would catch you, and as you're rising with him, and
He go higher.
Oh my God!
And sometimes it be in a move. You know what I'm saying? Like they won't expect it. They think he's just making a move to the basket, do a layup, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh man, this guy's about to dunk this!" Like,
yeah, he's not gonna stop. Yeah, Dominique Wilkins is one of the most. Michael Jordan had a lot of bodies too, though.
He definitely
like
did.
Michael Jordan had he caught. They had a video of Mutombo said, "Yo, I'm the only one you've never dunked on," and then he dunked on him and then waved his finger in his face.
Yeah, I remember that. He went like, no. Right.
Yeah. That's facts, Dion. You're right.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, no. Listen, a lot of topics that we discussed today.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything else that we need to add, guys, before we end the show for today?
I think we pretty much covered everything, man.
The only thing I'm gonna say is just don't ever count the goats out, man. Like Serena Williams is not done yet. Don't count the goats out, man.
It's hard. Yeah. Listen, I don't think any real tennis fan can say that Serena Williams is done. I think she's just had a block because I listen. Do I think Serena Williams is going to win something again? Of course.
Sure. Yeah.
She's going to win. It's not like she's not going to win.
I think she's gonna be reaching more losses than normal in her career. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was consistently winning. Like,
but this was inevitable.
You expected her to win. Now
this was inevitable.
I hope she wins. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you. Let me hold on. Just not to harper. When you see a major and you see Serena, do you expect her to make it at least to the semis?
Of course.
I expect her to win.
Of course.
Right. So then you still expect her to go to the final. So then anything can happen. You
know,
so anything can, right. So
this Osaka girl, man. This Osaka girl, man. She's good.
Yeah. Listen. You can't ever discredit Serena, right?
Do you think that there's anybody else in the tennis world that would dominate Serena other than Osaka?
No.
Anybody else?
No.
So then, arguably, she's still in your mind number 2 in the world.
I still think she's number 1. It's just that let me make this a little clearer. Just because somebody has your number doesn't mean that person's better than you. You know what I'm saying?
No, it does. No, in fact, it does.
Okay, so that means Eli Manning's better than Brady.
That means Eli Manning's better than Brady.
Well, no.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because I'm a Giants fan, and I know.
No. Because you got to have it over multiple Super Bowls, right? And Peyton hasn't gone there. Like Serena and Osaka right now, and it's a difficult comparison again because they're not playing against each other, right? Versus the tennis match they're playing against each other.
Was Buster Douglas better than Mike Tyson?
He beat him one time. Now he was better than him that day. He was better than him that day. No, he was better than him that day. The only one that beat Mike Tyson was Holyfield.
Holyfield
right.
better than Tyson?
Correct. Holyfield arguably. See, Mike Tyson always had a problem with boxes. Mike Tyson likes to brawl. That's how come he had a problem with Lennox Lewis late in his career. Because everybody who can box, Tyson had a problem with. Whenever you decided to go blow for blow and let him get in there, and he's gonna hurt you. But if you can keep your distance and box him, hit him, boom, boom, and move. Hit him, boom, 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 move. You'll frustrate him, and then eventually you'll catch it. He'll do something reckless, and you'll hurt him. But when it came to Buster Douglas, he had a great night that night. Evander Holyfield fights that all the time. But when you see Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson fight now, and they're about to fight soon, it's gonna be crazy. I think Tyson is gonna probably hurt him.
Yeah, Tyson's in good shape. But like I said, man, like I still think Serena is the truth. Like I'm saying, like as bad as Tiger is, man. Tiger was still the greatest golfer. You know what I'm saying? He might not be up to shape now because of his body is broken down.
Yeah, his back is done.
But he was still the greatest golfer to me. I mean, I know Jack Nicholson have the best record, so to speak, but I still think Tiger, he was that transcendent great. You know what I'm saying? Like Serena, the transcending great. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brady is a transcendent great. You know what I'm saying? Like guys that's top of the game that changed the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All right,
guys, this was fun, man. Thank you for invite me back anytime. I'd love to come and chop it up with you guys. This is great, man. I love it.
No,
And much
Eric,
success
we're
to
so
you
happy
guys.
that you joined us today, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for your input. You know, very knowledgeable. Thank you for chiming in with us. We love
We
having
want
you.
an extra 40-something minutes. So
Right. Yeah. So thank you guys all for those who have stood in to watch with us today. We appreciate it. Episode 20 was today, guys. 21 next week.
That was episode 20. So that's a little
Congrats.
for us, guys.
Many more.
Many more. So 5 months in the making, we've been doing this now. So we want to thank all of our fans for watching us. As always, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And we are going to be having new merch coming out too. We're going to be doing some Knicks and Brooklyn Nets stuff. So make sure you check out for that.
Open up the arenas now, so you guys know. I mean, the veterans of True New York Sports know that we do a lot of sporting events. So now that they're going to start opening up the arenas,
We're going to try to do something.
We can get back into that swing of things as well. So let's see what happens. You know,
Hey, Boogie, I can come hang out in your box.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh yeah. Pause. Whoa. Pause. All right, I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
That's enough for this guy.
Yo, we're gonna have to. Yo, Boogie, that was at 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 5 seconds. All right?
Oh, I
Eric,
meant to. I know.
Eric Nick asked Boogie to be in his box.
Hey guys,
Everyone.
and this is on video live feed, so you can't erase this. You can't erase this. I might clip that.
Yo, Boogie's reaction.
I meant your sports box, bro. Like your sports in the arena, bro. And then, oh my god! Later, I'm out. I'm out.
Thank you guys for joining in.
Later.
Until next week,
man.
we'll see you guys next
Jesus
week. Thank you
Christ.
guys all for tuning in.
All right.